After an intense period of time on the pre-production of my final major, I still had one final task to fulfill before I could start making it. Confront my tutor and show him all the ins and outs I was doing up until that point.
Hi there, I'm Julian Watkiss, and today I'm joined by Harry Moorcroft, who's going to be talking about his final major project for the end of the first year.
Yeah.
Hello Harry, how you doing?
All right, I think.
Good. So can you give us an overview of your idea and what you plan to do, please?
All right, so final major, a bunch of ideas hatching up in there, but of course you've got session on one, spent ages and ages thinking around, and last year I did a final major, I was quite over ambitious, so that's kind of scared me off of making something a bit more smaller this time round. So every time I have an idea, I think, I've got to make sure it's doable. And eventually I thought, you know what, screw it, let's just remake an old project.
Okay, so let's have a look at what you're remaking.
So, a number of years ago, I made a film called School Reflection. It's about my time at school. And I sort of was looking back on it, and I didn't know how to do paper, like 2D animation at the time. It was just like drawing paper, take a picture of that, and I thought, I know how to do so much now, sort of that, so I thought, why don't I just remake it?
So you want to revisit an old project that you did. Are you going to do it about school, or are you revisiting it as sort of like with the same themes? But with
Mainly taking the original, looking what aspects worked about it originally, what aspects didn't work so well, and what could be improved upon if I was to make it. So taking aspects of it all.
Okay, and can you give me an idea of what the theme of School Reflection was about?
It was mainly about this chubby fella right here, mainly feeling left out from all the other kids because he has like autism and nobody quite understands why he's acting so odd.
Yeah.
And I was discussing with you about it, about helping to raise awareness about what exactly autism is.
Yeah, because this is something, obviously, when you say this, it's something that's personal to you, isn't it? Because School Reflection was actually about yourself, in a sense, wasn't it? And sort of like dealing with the issues that you felt when you were younger and stuff. So you're doing it from now. Is it going to take into college life now, or is it?
At the moment, I actually had a teacher advise, said, oh, why don't you do it now? But I think at the moment, it's mainly staying back at school.
Okay, okay. So let's move on through your presentation.
All right, here we go. Research. So, anyway, sort of people I've gotten inspired from. When I made the original, there was a chap I was sort of looking at, and his name was Adam Elliott, and he's done like animations based on real life people he knows.
Okay.
And it's mainly done, his short films are mainly done from narration, learning about the characters, like the mainly misunderstood sort of characters.
Yeah.
And I really love his style and approach. It's all a bit, and all of his sort of, it's all in black and white, what he does, it's quite bleak and colourless.
Yes.
And this is like an advice a lot of me mates suggested, why don't you look at sort of storytime animators like on YouTube, where they do a similar thing to Adam Elliott, but they're a bit more they're a lot more uplifting, and much more colourful, and their videos a bit more like a vlog-like sort of video.
Yeah. So
it's sort of that kind of talk, like, hey, chat, so what's going on? You wouldn't believe what's happened to me.
And do you feel that would talk to your audience better if you did it more in that style than the Adam Elliott style, or?
I'd say both of their sort of target audience are mainly sort of like PG to 12. And when I made the original one originally, I got the inspiration from like Sesame Street because they made like an autistic character, and that was aimed for preschoolers. And I thought, I want to do the same thing, but I want to aim mine towards like, 12-year-olds, sort of people going through school, because that's the kind of age where they're still in the mood to see something silly and fun, but they're ready to take on something a little bit more dramatic, a bit more serious.
Okay, great. All right. Let's move on then, please.
Oh, yes. I've been doing a number of animation tests, mainly sketching over the original drawings. And just moving them around a little bit. I've done this character here, she's Mrs. Sugar. She looks a little bit more different there. I want to try to sort of redesign some of the characters.
Yeah.
And sort of an aspect I'm going for at the moment is to sort of make the main character, this one here, a lot more rounder, unlike the other characters, as a bit of a contrast, where you've got this sort of round and cuddly looking character, but then you've got like this these square, sort of very angular, sort of intimidating characters.
Okay, so you thought the sort of like the style of drawings actually affecting the emotions that are going on behind the characters, or how they're perceived and stuff. Very good. Okay.
And also, I've been doing looking up a lot of sort of animation techniques. and I've been applying like squash and stretch.
Yeah.
So like if he like would when he like turns around, he would sort of like do a bit of a bounce like between frames,
Yeah.
just to make it a bit more smoother.
Very nice.
Adding a lot more pictures in between.
Yeah, squish and stretch is actually a very good technique for doing that, so it kind of it flows a bit more, doesn't it? Very
remember-
nice.
Oh, this is sort of the ideal schedule of what I'm getting out of the way at the moment. So in March, it's mainly doing research, doing video tests, and I've put on Fridays to do a blog every week just to show where I am with my progress.
Yeah.
And then April, it's all about actually filming the production itself. Well, not filming it, but sort of animating the production.
Yeah. Okay, very good. And would you say you're on schedule at the moment, or do you think you've got? Where do you think you are with the project and stuff?
I think I was been a little bit off balance of what I think I've done stuff, but I just haven't been able to document it as well as I should have done.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to get back on track there.
Good.
Sort of starting to dedicate more time sitting down and writing.
Good.
Yesterday I wrote about 15,000 words just for
Okay.
one blog.
And where do you think you are? When do you think you're planning on starting your main bulk of animation?
I would say probably the second week during the sort of half term
Okay,
off.
great. Yeah.
It's only because I'm going on holiday the first week, so I couldn't do anything. And I just want to spend the first week able just really just sort of perfecting the script.
Yeah.
Just to sort of like think, right, this is definitely what we're going to go for. I'm nearly out of the script. It's all written. It's just the ending. I'm just figuring out the implications too.
Yeah. Very good. Okay.
The next one, this is all about sort of where I'm going to sort of advertise it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking mainly my platform's YouTube. This derives from because I was originally going to do like a sort of interview some autistic people.
Yeah.
Sort of like, cause that's based on like a YouTube video, like, you know, sort of people have said like not what to say with autistic people.
Yeah.
But well, I've sort of realised after a while that it wasn't going to quite fit in with my schedule, and it wasn't quite as necessary as I needed it to be. So I decided to leave it aside. I've also focused on the blog series I'm doing every Friday. Making thumbnails for that and sort of really working them up to speed, something on the same level as like a real vlog series like you saw the Storytime animators on YouTube.
Very nice.
And this bit down here, this is something I've always wanted to do, but like, this is something I should have done with Voxfilm last year because that was a trailer, but I've always wanted to do like, make a teaser trailer, but then do several other trailers, but like make them in the themes of like what they would look like if they were made way back when.
Okay, very good.
I know, just as an interesting way to sort of advertise a story, because I love old cheesy trailers.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
so thrilling, you must be there.
That's
sort of
cool.
dialogue. Probably not, those are B news, but it probably won't be something like that for School Reflection, maybe something more Disney-esque.
Yes.
Like, this Harry Moore, you spent 2 months in his bedroom sketching away, and this is what he's made. So it looks a bit half-decent.
No, that'd be great.
And this is relating back to the YouTube thing.
Yep.
Because I want to put on the platform of YouTube, I want to start kind of give my own YouTube channel sort of a brand look.
Yeah.
So I've been going through sort of really figuring out as to what kind of style I want to go for.
Yeah.
Now I quite like old retro things, and my dad knows a mate who's got a 16mm projector, so I've been photographing a bit of stuff of that.
Yep.
And I've been putting that the end credits. Well, not like, what is it? It's like you can click on the other videos relating to that one.
Oh yeah, the card at the end of the ending card, or whatever it's called, the end title card on YouTube.
Yeah, they're like
Yep.
putting that the end title card, like just a projector going around. And I've also put that in my blog series.
Oh,
Like
very
before you
good.
see the actual video, it starts off the projector going off.
Yeah.
It's all building up.
Very nice.
I've also tried to make myself seem a bit posh with my YouTube name, Edward James.
Yeah.
So there's a picture of a bird. But you said about that's not really like reflects sort of my style.
I didn't think it did, no. Because I think sort of like, although you've photographed some animals or things before, I think you especially relate with animation and fun projects and things like that. And I think I just thought, how did you feel about that? Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, because I always like doing more hands-on sort of elements.
Yeah.
Like animation's like a good example. And I sort of took a step back and I thought, yeah, maybe Julian's got a point. So I've been looking to other things, and so like I was thinking of like ways to sort of make it old and retro, but not so classical. Like something not like Wizard of Oz, but something more B-movie quality.
Yeah.
Because while you can tell it's all fake, it's quite charming because you can actually identify how they would have done that effect.
Yep.
So I've looked at an old B-movie. This is an old film called The Mighty Gorga, a knockoff of King Kong, really.
Okay.
Don't watch it. It's absolute rubbish. But the best bit of the whole film is this papier-mâché dinosaur. Not what's in the effect looks good, it looks awful, but it looks comical.
Yeah.
So I've sort of looked towards that for inspiration for my mascot character. So Pixar's got the lamp, Disney's got Mickey Mouse, I've got a papier-mâché dinosaur.
Very nice.
So I've been doing a few sketches here and there. I want to make an actual physical prop of the dinosaur.
Yep.
So I've been at home, papier-mâché and everything. My dad's got angry at me, it's a mess everywhere. And I've been trying to think of a name, because I love your idea for your name. It was, what, Square One?
Yeah.
The idea was that every company starts from Square One.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought, what could I sort of do similar to that, like, describes me best? And I sort of thought, well, my projects, I like to think, you know, I make them to the point where I think they're good enough. Well, maybe not good enough. At least I'm satisfied with them, but I know they're not always perfect.
Yeah.
And especially when I'm making craftsmanship, I know they're not the best models, but it's the best I can do. So I thought they're a bit rough, but you know, they're ready to go. So that's when I come up with Rough and Ready.
Nice.
It's dinosaur bursting through cracks everywhere.
Very good. Cool. And do you think that sums up you more as a brand?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Very hands-on.
Okay, let's carry on, please.
Oh, I think that's it.
Okay, if that's it, then I'm going to ask you a few questions, Harry, okay? The first question is, what do you see as the biggest challenge to you making this as good a project as you possibly could? What could stop you from doing that, and how will you overcome it?
If my computer dies on me,
Yeah, computers, yeah.
what would be my biggest hurdle? I want to sort of inject, at the moment in the script, something I've shown a test screen to my mates of what advice they could give, and something they said, like, it's a bit too descriptive.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do in my script is sort of hurdle away from less of the narration and at least have more quiet bits where you've got people talking,
Yeah.
not as in like it's a full-on like sort of talky film, but you've got bits of dialogue going on here and there.
Okay, that's good.
And I want to sort of invest other people to sort of voice in them.
Yeah.
So I might ask somebody knocking around would be willing to do a voice.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a hurdle. Sort of get other people involved, or else if I do it all the time, think, hang on, why does he sound so? It's just Harry doing a stupid voice.
I think that's very good. And the other question is what skills do you think you've learned on the course so far that are going to help you complete this project? What sort of like are you improving upon over the last year or so?
I think I've taken more attention to animation, because
Yeah.
I think when we did that, because we did like a lamp test, didn't we, in
We
the
did,
classroom?
yeah.
There's sort of bouncing out, and you said, oh, just look at the squatch and stretch.
Yeah.
And I think since then I've just paid just closer attention, like how the characters move in the animations.
Okay.
Like Adam Elliott, I've been watching like a lot of his movements. They're really simple.
Yeah.
It's just move left to right. And you don't even see them walk.
Yeah.
YouTube animators, they don't really have a whole lot of movements in there.
Yeah.
It's all quite simple stuff. So I've just been analysing that and just sort of think, how can I apply that to my work?
And finally, I suppose, how will you be able to? What ways will you evaluate your project that will allow you to know that it's successful?
I think the best way to see it, because the whole point of the project is to show people what autism exactly is.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to is show the video to someone that has no idea what autism is or doesn't know much about it. And if they can at least either sympathise with the character or get a better understanding of what it's like having autism, then I think I've succeeded in that aspect.
Okay.
But if they go away saying, oh, I didn't understand that, then well, I failed the whole project.
Okay.
But I can still write that into the journal entry.
Okay.
No, evaluation.
Evaluation. And a journal entry, why not? All right, well, thank you very much for coming in, Harry, and good luck with your project.
Oh, thank you. It's the first time I've ever had a handshake from Julian. Isn't he a lovely man?